right, guys, Mark from partflyers.com. All right, so today we're outside. We're going to be filming the Minimax. We put on the full light kit. If you can see the front lights, we did the underglow in red to match the red shocks that we put on. We put on the new the GTR shocks. They're $80 for 4, by the way. And then you have the rear. Look at that rear light, split in the rear bumper. Very nice. A beautiful looking car. Not really too expensive, all the upgrades. Everybody seems to be buying them. I posted them last night and we're almost sold out of all of them. So if you want this, if you want your light kit for your Minimax, I recommend grabbing it quickly because they're selling fast. I like the underglow because it's done in a very tasteful way. It has a certain type of LED that really disperses the light nicely. It's done in a very tasteful manner. It attaches to the chassis with 2 screws. Very easy to install. Now, just to note, you cannot hook this up to the speed control plug. A lot of people do that. You'll melt these. It has to go into the 3-volt power supply. It's a power supply in a junction box. If you're going to buy just the underglow body LEDs, you have to buy that 3-volt power supply separately. It's $17.99 for that with the connector. Otherwise, if you buy the light kit, it comes with the 3-volt power supply and you don't need to buy that separate. You just need to add these underglow and everything plugs in. Everything looks great. Now, this car, we put in the center differential. I think it drives 10 times better. It manipulates the like we all know, front to rear traction very efficiently, and it drives a lot better than without it. It also is easier on the drivetrain. A lot of people put in the Valenian motor systems, and they're wondering why they're blowing out the rear differentials. That's because you don't have a center diff to mitigate all that power. With the center differential, your drivetrain is definitely in a safer place. Now, in my opinion, you're not going to need to upgrade the rear differential if you do the center differential. The other thing we did on this car, especially because we're driving in snow today, put in a little tiny gyro. It's $24.99. It goes in between the servo and the receiver, and you could set it to however much you want. We have it set on medium if you see it working here. Okay, so it's going to help it drive really smooth in the snow. It also helps, on the asphalt as well. Let's take it for a drive and let's see how stable this car is, and let's see how much better it drives with the new GTR shocks. Let's take it out for a spin. All right, so the first thing you notice is how straight it goes in the snow. Look at that. Not a problem at all. The gyro really helps this thing out, makes it completely drivable. You could drive this in the snow, in the rain. A lot of people are going to wonder why I didn't do the TSM. I try to save my customers money. It's not all about what you can spend. You could put a $100 TSM radio in this, but it's going to be a lot of money. Now, if you do own other Traxxas cars, you could put a $40 TSM receiver in the car and then just bind it to your radio with your other cars. They usually have about 20 model memory, and you shouldn't have a problem with that. But for this particular case, we put a $24 gyro in it, and it seems to be driving great. Light kit looks amazing on it. It helps you tell the orientation because you have the white lights in the front and the red in the back. So you can see it from far. You know your orientation. It's great. Let's see how it does in the grass. Yeah, no, this is nice. So this is what it's all about. This is driving like a real Max. It's got that real Max feeling to it. Absolutely phenomenal. Drives great. Now this has a stock motor in it. We're going to be doing some videos with an upgraded motor, not the Valenian 3500. We think that system is a little bit too powerful for this car. I don't like when a car is overpowered. It's not drivable really, but this is the stock system, totally drivable and amazing. Look how fast that is. That is fast. So the stock configuration goes about 30 miles an hour. Look how stable that is with the gyro. That's in the snow and ice. Beautiful. Let's take it on the asphalt. Let's see how stable it is. Beautiful. Handles great. So the new GTR shocks, it looks like it is handling better with the new GTR shocks. Look at that, it's holding the weight better. It's got better damping. Beautiful, handles great. No flipping. A lot less flipping. So there's definitely a noticeable difference with the GT shocks. Oh, there you go. I said it, I jinxed it. I said flipping and then it flipped. All right. Yeah. So with the gyro, we're going to be able to get a little bit more speed out of this. I'm thinking the Hobbywing 3652 motor, it's 4,000 kV. It's going to add about 10 miles an hour to this. So instead of doing 30, it'll do 40. And I think that's going to be the sweet spot. There's no need for that big motor system, big expensive Valenian. And the 3652 motor is only $34.99. You buy it from us, we charge 15 bucks to put it in. Makes the car a lot nicer. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This thing handles great. Really great. If you wondered how good it handled in the snow, there's your answer. It really does feel like a little Mini Maxx. So cool. Let's take that jump. Let's see if we can hit it. Nope. All right, that's a wrap. All right, guys, so now we are at Neptune Skate Park with the Minimax. Now, we did some upgrades on this thing. The first one, now before I talk about the upgrades, the biggest detraction from the Minimax, in my opinion, is when the car spins out. Out of the box, it's a lot of fun, but the truth is it does do a lot of spinning. A lot of that comes from because you don't have a center differential, you don't even have a slipper clutch in there. So basically, there's too much power going to the rear wheels. The car tends to spin, and for me, it's a big turnoff in the way it drives. To get rid of that, we added on this car the center differential. The center differential just basically distributes the power more efficiently. So all four wheels are getting the power as it should, and it really eliminates a lot of that spinning. The second thing we did to make the car drive better is we put on the new GTR shocks. These have much more oil in them. The stock car has the Ultra Shocks. Now, if you drop the car like between 6 to 8 inches off from the ground, you'll hear it belly slap. And also when you take the car out to drive, belly slap. These shocks, not so much. And they really perform a lot better. A lot better damping, a lot more oil in them. And if you look at the design on the new GTR shocks, the springs actually are longer than the older type for the 10 scale cars. The springs are actually more appropriate for the size of the shock. So they fill out the shock more. You don't have to crank them down to get the tension out of them. So it's going to drive a lot better than if it's inappropriately sprung. So we really like the design on the new GTR shocks. They're 80 bucks for a set of 4. It comes with 30 weight oil, which is a little bit thicker than the stock oil, which is 20 weight. Again, a very big upgrade, and definitely helps the car handle a lot better. When you're giving throttle in the turns, you'll see the car just doesn't spin out as much. So now you have the center diff, you have the GTR shocks, and then the third and last upgrade for this car is we put in a little tiny gyro here. It's a $24 gyro. It really does help keep the car straight. You're going to see when we drive it now in the park, the car is going to, it's not going to spin out like a normal Mini Maxx does, and we think it is unbelievable. All right, so we're going to show you some footage now, and we hope you like it. All right, so far very stable. Like the way it drives. We have TSM, we have a gyro instead of TSM on this. We think it's jumping incredible with the new shocks. Landing better too. Yeah. Driving a lot better with the GTR shocks on them. The car just feels a lot more planted. Look how straight the car is with the gyro in it. Unbelievable. Now I am standing on ice, just to let you know. Yeah, it's jumping a lot better with the new shocks. This thing is so much more enjoyable. This thing is so much fun. Let me tell you, it's driving a lot better. The new setup. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Jumps great. This thing is a blast, absolute blast. About 18 degrees here. Freezing, absolutely freezing. Now, one thing about the Traxxas electronics versus what I see with other brands, every time it snows out, we get a lot of warranty claims on electronics. Like for Arma, for instance, a lot of them. For Traxxas, we don't really get much. This has been in the snow. This is my third to run out in the snow. It's been saturated with ice, water, snow, all that, and not one light went out. None of the parts, none of the electronics show any glitching or anything like that. So this is really, I would say, very resistant to water and snow. Electronics are really nice, and it's really performing very well. It really does perform. It's performing like a bigger car with all these upgrades on it. And I'll tell you what, it makes me want to come and drive this thing a lot more often. On this in stock, and the stock configuration, I mean, I liked it, but you know, there was a lot more left to be desired, and I think we've achieved it now. This thing drives like a big boy. Very stable. And it's not, that gyro really helps this thing stay rock steady. Look at that thing. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Light's still working. Basically, we're driving this thing on snow and ice, not a problem at all. It's not excessively spinning. Basically, it's moving forward in a very nice way. Look at that, pure ice. Going straight as an arrow. Okay, let's come and take a jump. Let's check out the new shocks. Oh, this car is really a winner. Look at that. Look at this thing. Let's see if we can hit a nice speed on the jump. Do full throttle, even though the battery's getting a little low. Let's see what we can do. What a great run, what a great car. Absolutely phenomenal. What a beautiful run with the Mini Maxx in the snow. Guys, I fully endorse this car. This is one of the best, I guess, mini brushless little four-wheel drive trucks out there. This thing is unbelievable. It takes a licking. Waterproof electronics, great handling, absolutely. The ecosystem of upgrades is unending with this car. It's unbelievable. Highly endorsed it. Love it. All right, guys, so I just ran the car. We went to the Neptune skate park, ran the car in the snow. Look at all the accumulation of snow around there. Now, usually this wreaks havoc on any electronic system. This is the third time I'm out. Nothing happened to any of the electronics. All the lights work. Underglow lights work. Electronics are good. No glitching. You know, the reason why I'm showing this is I do a lot of service on RC cars. So you have a lot of people promoting those Chinese brands on like Tom Lee RC and all those other channels. They're just promoting all these Chinese brands. When you get a Chinese brand, you take one of those out to the park, there is no way that it can withstand all this water and the snow just sitting on it. All the electronics usually go bad. We see it time in, time out with all of our customers. We tell them that we cannot help them. Once the Chinese electronics go bad, they got to replace the electronics. On the Traxxas stuff, even though they're not really waterproof, but they're water resistant and they're better than any other brand that I know, even Arma. So every year we have a lot of warranty claims for electronics around this time, and it's always in the snow. And people wonder why, how come in the snow and not just, you know, in the rainy season? And this is why. Snow sits on the electronics. Look at that. It just sits on it, and it just, and if it's not properly, you know, sealed and the quality is not that good, they go bad and they short out. So this is just a testament to how awesome the electronics on Traxxas cars are. This is why you buy a Traxxas. If all the people complaining on all my comments and they always wonder why you pay a little bit more, this is it. This is why you pay more for a Traxxas car.